This is ERi-TV English news broadcast, dear viewers. I'm your reporter Basabe Takhle, and these are the major headlines for today. Seminar organized to nationals in Hamburg. Greening and environmental sanitation programs in Keren as priority tasks for 2023. The Russian Navy has successfully tested its new hypersonic Zircon missile. And freezing weather kills at least 124 people in Afghanistan. On your local reports, Mr. Kibrab Takeste, Eritrean Consul General in Frankfurt, and Mr. Kahsai Tawalde, Head of Public and Community Affairs at the Eritrean Embassy in Germany, conducted a seminar to nationals in Hamburg and its environs, focusing on the objective situation in the homeland as well as on the national development programs. At the seminar conducted under the theme Youth, Challenges and Opportunities, Mr. Kibrab gave extensive briefing on the objective situation in the homeland and regional developments, as well as on the timely responsibility of nationals in the national affairs. Mr. Kibrab also called on the youth to strengthen organizational capacity and awareness and play a due role in the implementation of the national development programs, as well as to turn challenges into opportunities and become exemplary in their areas of specialization. Mr. Kahasai, on his part, gave extensive briefing on the unparalleled struggle and resilience, as well as the heavy sacrifice the Eritrean youth paid in all stages of the history of the country, and called for strengthening organization for better outcome. Mr. Kahasai also gave briefing on the objectives and programs of the YPFDJ and on the national charter. Mr. Razzanar Aya, administrator of Keren City, reported that greening and environmental sanitation activities are among the priority tasks for 2023. Indicating that the program has been ongoing since 2022, Mr. Razzana called on the residents of the city, administrations, as well as concerned institutions to strengthen participation in the implementation of the programs, pointing out that as part of the effort to ensure potable water supply and irrigation of farming development, the construction of the dam in Ashera has reached to 95%. Mr. Razzana said that the dam will have significant contribution in the implementation of the charted out development programs. Mr. Razzana went on to say that renovation of damaged roads in the city will continue in cooperation with Sagan Construction Company. Mr. Razzana also said that effort will be exerted to organize dairy farmers with a view to ensure supply of safe milk to the public. On your last local report, the acting administrator of Hagga Subzone, Mr. Nasser Umar, called on the youth to strengthen organizational capacity and take advantage of the resources in their areas and improving their livelihoods. At a meeting conducted with youth workers, area administrators, PFDJ representatives, artists and friends of the youth, Mr. Nasser expressed readiness of the subzonal administration to stand alongside the youth in their endeavor to develop their overall capacity. Mr. Bashir Mohammed Idris, head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the subzone, on his part called on all concerned institutions and stakeholders to strengthen participation and contribution in the effort to develop the capacity of the youth. In related news, over 120 members of the youth organization in Asaf subzone conducted a tour to historical sites on 20 January. The visit to Bure Front and Dihitom Trenches was part of the Youth Workers Week that started on 10 January. The participants of the tour were provided briefings by members of the Eritrean Defense Forces. That was domestic news, dear viewers. Following will be international reports after the short break. Welcome back. The Russian Navy announced on Wednesday that it has successfully tested its new hypersonic Zircon missile by means of computer simulation during a maneuver in the Atlantic Ocean. This was carried out during an exercise by the frigate Admiral Gorshkov in the western part of the Atlantic Ocean. The missile itself was not fired at the assumed target 900 kilometers away. The video only showed the missile hatch opening after the firing command. The missile trajectory was modeled on the screens. The test was justified as a practice run of the actual launch procedures. The Zircon is a sea target missile with a long range and enormous speed. It is said to be able to accelerate to more than 9,000 kilometers per hour, making it practically unreachable for air defenses, and it can potentially carry a nuclear warhead. Wednesday's announcement came as the West prepared to provide Ukraine with more advanced military hardware in its fight against Russia's invasion. On your final report, at least 124 people died in freezing temperatures in Afghanistan in the past fortnight, Taliban officials report. About 70,000 livestock had also perished in what is the coldest winter in a decade, a state ministry for disaster management spokesman said. Many aid agencies suspended operations in recent weeks after the Taliban banned Afghan women from working for non-governmental organizations. A Taliban minister said despite the deaths, the edict would not be changed. Aid officials, including the United Nations, are urgently trying to find ways to work around this ban. Acting Minister of Disaster Management Mullah Mohammed Abbas told the BBC that many areas of Afghanistan were now completely cut off by snow. Military helicopters had been sent to the rescue, but they couldn't land in the most mountainous regions. The acting minister said the forecast for the next 10 days indicated temperature would warm, but he was still worried about a rising death toll of Afghans and their livestock. You're still watching ERi-TV, dear viewers, and now recap of today's major headlines. Seminar organized to nationals in Hamburg. Greening and environmental sanitation programs in Keren as priority task for 2023. The Russian Navy has successfully tested its new hypersonic Zircon missile. And freezing weather kills at least 124 people in Afghanistan. Dear viewers, thanks for watching and do stay for the remaining of our programs.